could have an awful setting process, and as long as your closer is good, you'll still do the same numbers.
26, 32, like haven't really done anything with their lives, have a couple thousand saved up. They don't really buy for education, they just buy because like they want a little bit of entertainment and hope. And I think that's what 99% of info offers are and how they make money.
So what you're saying is the only way to scale to something like $1 million a month is by accepting the fact that success rates will be low.
Yes.
You don't think that's ethically wrong?
Bruv, say that, bruv. Let me get the clip. Let me get the clip.
If you click this, don't click me saying this.
Have you guys seen like the 1v10 videos on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. Yes. From like
Yes, Brez, yes. Yeah. Brez, fucking Jubilee, everyone. We're gonna kind of do that, like obviously it's gonna be like a little bit more sophisticated. I think the best way to do it is I'm gonna start with some takes that are kind of like debatable. Like if you disagree or have any nuance or opinion on them, come up. Towards the end, it's just like if you guys have any question or anything you want guidance on or any like situation or like even just like say where your coaching or business is at, and I can give advice, then we'll just do it that way towards the end.
Easy, bro.
Easy. Amazing, good.
Easy. Anyone who's making money selling biz up are selling entertainment and not education. Come on, boys. Like someone has to disagree with that. The large majority of it, of course, is education, but it's packaged in an entertaining way, and the ICP is someone who's not going to be successful.
You just said it's education.
I think you're really good for this.
Yeah, come on. So what I mean is I don't think it's education that's meant to make people as successful as possible. I think the info offers that are the biggest have the lowest success rate because the ICP, the people they're selling to, you know, maybe like 26, 32, like whatever age they're at, haven't really done anything with their lives, have a couple thousand saved up, and they're just kind of like pissed off. They don't really buy for education, they just buy because like they've been, you know, thinking about making money for so long that they want a little bit of entertainment and hope. And that's why the success rates are so low.
You can agree YouTube videos are entertaining, right? We need to make them entertaining so that viewers watch the whole video and that retention is high and that they finish the video so that they can book in with you. But it's also educating.
No, I think the reason it needs to be entertaining is to capture the people that won't be successful. Because the people that will be successful, they're more nuanced. They won't just like, they don't randomly scroll on their phone, see an ad, click, VSL, pay in full. Like they don't do that. They find some like maybe like lower person that isn't as known where they can actually like, get one-to-one help or something along those lines, and they don't just like buy education randomly. They do more research, make more calibrated decisions, find like these like maybe smaller people where they can get one-to-one help. Which is why the biggest programs have so low success rates, because they make it entertaining and add all these unique mechanisms and like add AI to the offer, and like they do it. The reason they say these things, you know, some of the biggest offers right now, like these AI offers, the reason they have to make it so entertaining and have so much FOMO is to sell to the people that weren't meant to be successful. Because if you're 26, 27, 28 and you're suddenly buying an info and you haven't made any efforts to be successful earlier, it's just not really like part of who you are. You aren't going to be successful. You can be like entertained enough and then sold heavy into like, oh, let me get some hope by giving this person a few thousand.
And that person that goes through that whole process still pays in full to that person. By the end of the 3 months, does their knowledge increase?
If they follow through, yes, their knowledge increases.
That means they spent 3K, their knowledge increased, so were they offered education?
In technicality, yes, they're offered education.
So it is education, though.
As someone, like you've been successful, you would have said no matter what info product you went through, you would have been successful with it.
Definitely.
No matter what coaching program you went through, you would have been successful with it. And so it's not really the coaching program itself that like makes them successful.
You need to realize, right, so in my opinion, right, the people that get successful have that dog in them, right? 2 people can get exposed to the same experiences. One person can take it a certain way, they won't become successful. One person will continue to pursue his goals and still become successful, right? With info...
That's my point. The reason they make it so entertaining...
What I'm say is with info, the people that go in, they are going to become successful anyway. If they buy or don't buy, they'll find a way to make it work and they'll find a way to hit their goals. But when they buy into the info, what they're doing is they're paying for their time. They're paying so that they hit their goal sooner, right? So I would say that I am getting the education, I'm increasing my perceived value, and that's why I get the money sooner. So I understand that when I go in there, I'm increasing in value, and they also have to make it entertaining for me to like take in the value. So I would definitely say like how good an info offer is how much they also take responsibility and ownership of how well people do, and that comes with making it really entertaining but also keeping people super accountable. And I definitely feel like if you can do that, even the guys that you wouldn't expect to see success from will become successful.
I think your experience will be a little bit different because you have like a very like micro niche info offer where you come across more sophisticated. There's like one-on-one help, and therefore the people that choose to make that decision will be a little bit more sophisticated. Subconsciously they buy with the intent of getting entertained, like because they're just getting entertained with the idea that they can now be successful, and if they've went through this for years not taking any action in alignment, and they know they're not stepping into a new version of themselves by giving away a few thousand when they've been doing it for this long, and they fall off after a couple of months. And the reason they don't charge back is because they know, well, I got what I paid for, I got the information, I got the little hit of dopamine of like, I paid, now I'm going to do this, etc., etc. And I think that's what 99% of info offers are and how they make money in BizUp.
Someone that sees success in a BizUp, did they pay for entertainment or education?
They paid for education.
Okay, but in your claim it says sales like business.
No, my claim is 90% of BizUp sales are built on that fact that they're selling entertainment and not education.
Okay, but someone who sees success got education and they paid for education.
I agree. Yes.
And someone who doesn't see success, what is it?
Someone who like just gets the dopamine high and then doesn't follow through, they pay for entertainment.
Would you agree for them to get entertained, they have to also educate themselves? That's the only way.
The way they get entertained is by buying the education, but they don't get the outcome of the education. They don't get the.
So they only get entertained on the sales.
Like it's built on selling to people that their only outcome they're going to get from it is entertainment.
When do they get entertained? On the sales call? Is that
and on every step of the process, right?
So,
if you watch one of these webinars, like there's a reason certain things are just renamed and people just add AI to it and so on.
So post sales call is still entertainment.
Post sales call, they still have some like hope and like they're still high end.
But is that when the entertainment starts? When like is that?
No, the entertainment is there throughout the entire time that they're in. The whole fulfillment,
right? Would you agree then, for them to be entertained, they have to hop on the group calls, they have to hop on the one-on-ones, they have to expose themselves to the school community, but in turn, they also have to educate themselves?
Yes, I would agree.
So, BizOps are selling education that also entertains them.
You could say that, yeah. Next point is, I'm talking about this, by the way, from specifically like a profile funnel Instagram perspective. Setting is more important than closing.
It's not necessarily. I'm not disagreeing.
Then why are you here?
Right, but I'm not disagreeing, right? But like, you could have an awful setting process, and as long as your closer is good, you'll still do the same numbers.
I would rather have a mid closer and a fantastic setter than a fantastic closer and a mid setter. Any time of the day.
Why?
I would even the proportions be more extreme, because that's where the money is made. Like we've had months where we closed 40% of deals in DMs. That's where the money is made.
Well,
and if the setter can set the call, if the setter can, yes, but I'm saying DMs can be closed in DMs. Deals can be closed in DMs when you have a very, very good setting. Mm-hmm. And number two, if the setter sets up the call correctly, does post-booking correctly, like there's a lot that goes into setting.
It's equal.
It's.
I disagree. It's equal. Neither of them is either than important. It's the exact same, because if you have a rubbish closer with a really good setter, they're gonna fuck up the call on the call. Same as if you have a really bad DM setter and a really good closer, they're gonna fuck up the DMs, and the closer has more jobs to do.
If you have a mid closer and a fantastic DM
setter. Incorrect, because the closer can mess up the call. If they don't know,
closer can mess up the call, but that's less likely to happen. And number one, you're going to book way more calls, so the closer's going to get better. You're going to book way more calls. You're going to be able to close deals in DMs. You're going to be able to have the calls have less objections, be warmer, more show-ups. Versus, yes, of course, a closer can mess up a call, but I would way rather. The DMs is where you're taking followers from a point where they're pretty much ready to buy.
What about the closers and pitch right? Because at the end of the day, that's their decision. If the product aligns with them, correct. What about if they can't overcome the beliefs? What about if they can't objection handle?
Well, if the setter is good, then they won't get objections.
So the setter can help someone.
Then they'll get way less objections.
And DMs.
Let's say they can't objection handle. If the setting is good enough, not an issue. Like, I'd rather have a closer that can't objection handle than a setter that won't book the call. Like, than a
Of
setter.
course, I'm not saying you need calls as a closer, but
I'm saying as a proportion.
they're as important as each other. Setting does not outweigh closing.
Okay, so if they're as important as each other, then because closers are paid twice as much, the closer is less important because the setter, and I think the setter does a bigger job in generating revenue. The closer has to show up to a call and pretty much close a deal, right? And a lot of times that deal, by the time it jumps on the call, it's pretty much close if the setter is very good.
No,
and
that's
versus the
also
setter
incorrect.
generates pretty much the revenue from followers.
Incorrect.
How is that incorrect? Okay,
let's take B2C's example. You're not selling the outcome, you're selling the change of identity of someone, right? Helping them overcome whatever's been getting in the way. What about if that comes up on the call? Is the DM setter going to jump on the call and close them for you?
That's never what I said.
What I'm saying is it's as equally important because a DM setter can't necessarily help someone overcome fear before they even get on the call.
Okay,
right?
no, let's say they don't. Let's say that person doesn't close. I would still, any time of the day, have a fantastic setter and a mid closer over a fantastic closer, but the setter is mid.
No, I'd rather an insanely good closer.
Because the setter can make more impact because the setter is going to speak to more people. So a fantastic setter would make more impact than a fantastic closer because they're going to speak to more people as a total. And that's why they're going to do more impact. Because if they're fantastic and they have an impact on more people, right, they're managing all the followers, versus a fantastic closer, he has a more limited impact because he's only having a few calls.
Okay. Would you rather a DM setter that books 20 calls in a month or a closer and then the closer closes 4? Or would you rather a closer close all 5 calls that he takes but only takes 5 calls? But
if he closes all the calls that's booked, then the setter is booking people that are fully qualified and they're warm to a point where they can be closed. Like, that's not the compare. You're saying whether I would close 4 or 5 deals.
But like, bro, I'm saying like a business can do. It just makes it harder. But I'm not saying it's more important.
Okay,
because a business could be doing the same amount of money with a really, really good closer and a really, really bad setter versus a really, really good setter and mid closer.
I think the really good setter mid closer will always outshine the other offer because they'll have better leads who are more warm, more qualified, and the setter skill level will have bigger impact because he's speaking to more people. I'm doing it as a video right now, my friend.
No. Do it as an actual 30-day challenge. Bad closer, good setter.
Whose business wants to be challenged with a bad closer? If you want, bro, I can sign you up.
Yeah, but like my point is from personal experience, though, because we were doing more than we were like lapping the competitors.
I think it's subjective. Then I don't think we're gonna get anywhere. Yeah, but it was good. Good.
Oh, I was trying to rage bait you there, but it wasn't working. No, I agree. Setting's more important.
No, why? Bro, say that, bro. Let me get the clip. Let me get the clip.
Get it on the mic.
What did you just say, G?
No, because if you clip this, right, I'll be at your front door tomorrow. Don't clip me saying this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna clip it.
No, I'm gonna clip it.
What? Like, just be honest, bro. Like, that's all what I'm about.
Yeah, okay. As a closer, then, I'd prefer having a really good setter.
Let's go. Good. Then we're there. Thank you.
Okay, played.
Okay.
Yeah, it is more important. Right, that.
Do you do sales?
What was that?
Do you do sales? Do you close deals?
I've closed all the deals.
What's wrong it then, bro?
Look, let's debate on whether you piff me or not. I think that's the real fucking important matter.
Whether I give you 12k?
Yeah, whether you give me 12.5. So what it looks like, is 3 months. What it looks like is 3 months of 1-to-1, bro. Mm-hmm. You get your own fucking game plan, scale your offer. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
ChatGPT.
What about ChatGPT?
Does it for free.
And how much are you making with ChatGPT?
I'm launching.
And like, how's that launch?
Well, I launched. Well, the course isn't built yet. The course is maybe 30% built.
And like, do you know anyone that's like actually scaled the coaching business to what numbers you want to scale to?
Yeah, I do.
Did they do it just with ChatGPT, or did they actually like invest into getting help?
No, they invest into getting help.
Okay. And why do you think that is?
But why would I invest into you though? I'm not disagreeing that coaches are bad. Definitely, I will be investing in a coach. But why would it be you?
Like, this is kind of like a logistical, like testimonials and all these things, type of thing though. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to go into everything, but obviously, like, in terms of even here.
But you not want to go into everything, like why are you avoiding that?
Okay, you want me to go through everything?
No, I don't need to know like all your case studies and your testimonials, but like
yeah, like I think in terms of like sales, setting coaches specifically, we have more case studies than anyone.
right.
Even like 2 of them are sitting, like this guy just signed, but like one of them is sitting right here. You're a sales coach. Yeah, sales, setting coaches, like in that entire space as a whole, we have more case studies than anyone. Arthur from 0 to 70, Julius from 4 to 40k, Jack Ormonroyd scaled to 65k a month, like bunch of case studies on the sales and setting side. So obviously we know that. I think it more so comes down to you though, because it's like if you know we have the case studies, like do you see how 3 months of one-to-one could actually get the coaching business to where you want it to be?
Nah, because I don't know what your service is. Like one-to-one what?
What it actually looks like, right, is like first thing we do is number 1 is how do we position you, right? So like that's the first part that we have to nail. So sit down, like we do our full audit of like everything you have, your entire background, as much as possible we can about you, and then do the marketing competitor research to figure out how we can uniquely position you. That's the first part, because that's how you're actually going to win, right? Is how you capture the best positioning. And like we've, from like seeing all these info businesses scale to 100k a month plus and all the people we've worked with, we've identified the ability to spot that. So that's the first thing, is like we're really going to dial down the positioning. Then second thing is like from there, how do we reflect that into like the organic, and how we set up your entire page so that you actually convert people, right? When people see you, they buy. Like the way it's set up, the way you speak, the content you make, the formats, everything. We go super deep into that, exactly how you should post your content. And as you go, like we even give you like specific ideas and like review them and like help you refine that.
Right.
Like based on the positioning we've created. So like that's the second part, right? And you kind of like get like 10, 20k a month even with just content. And then from there, you know, what we're really known for, like what we're best for is like then we also amplify that with ads, right? Like run ads to your Instagram profile. It's something called the profile funnel. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Yeah, so we run ads to your Instagram profile. It's like from there, add even more traffic, scale it even further. And then of course, obviously like consult on like anything along the way, right? Like whether it be anything on the back end, whether it be anything with like team, like whatever, like you have access to us at any time. And that's a 3-month time period of like one-to-one, both in over text and weekly calls.
Do you have a payment processor?
I do.
Let's run it.
Let's do it.
Let's run it.
Let's do it.
Come on.
You shouldn't make content for your ICP, like the exact person who's buying your product. Sure, let's talk on it. Take is, you shouldn't make content for your ICP.
That's your take.
Yes.
Why?
Often the ICP, and pretty much in every single case, it's very narrow, the person who buys from you. It's a very specific archetype. And if you try to make content specifically towards them, it'll be so boring, and also it'll be so narrow that it won't even get picked up. And so the only way to do it is to create for a broader section in which your ICP is only a little section of it, and make content towards that broader section.
I think that you're right, that if you make really niche specific content and just do it organically, realistically the algorithm's not going to pick that up and you're not going to get loads and loads of reach organically. Do you think that there's an argument to say you should create really specific content for your ICP, and then the way that you get traffic on that isn't by the reel blowing up and going viral, but it's by having your network see it, having your existing pipeline see it, and also running paid traffic, whether it's boosts, whether it's follower campaigns, to that really specific content?
Your point stands. I think either way, to make an entertaining video that's going to be watched to the entire end, you usually need to go for a broader section anyway. For it to only appeal to the ICP, it needs to be very specific, which often even the ICP will find boring. Yes, 100%, there's an argument you should create more bottom of funnel content. I agree. But I'm saying as a whole, that's not what you should make content for. You should make content for that specific person, because what you're making content for is to grow a brand. Now, of course, if it's just like a sales asset you send to your network or to your existing pipeline, it's different. I'm talking about making content to like grow a brand organically.
And do you think that all of your content should be that broader appeal content, or do you think you should have some for the top of the funnel content to bring the people in, and then have really niche specific content that is more technical, that speaks directly to your
I think
ICP?
Even when you make the technical ones, you should position them in a way where they could potentially appeal to a broader group of people. That way it's often going to be more entertaining for the ICP itself. And at least, even if you make something very specific, like let's say you break down a case study, even if you do something like that, like at least 80% should be broader, should be to get views. from a broader section and not your ICP.
Let me ask you this. If I was a potential client and I'm deciding to work between two people and I'm looking at their content, and if one of them has content that's much more broad appeal, it could be travel content, lifestyle content, them joking around with girls in the reels, whatever it is, and then I look at the other person and it's really technical, it's case studies, it's showing results, it's really, really in-depth on what I want to pay them to do, who would I choose to go for? I would choose to go for the person who's got the content that is really niche specific, really technical, rather than more viral.
Yeah, but you aren't going to find them. See, that's the issue, is you aren't going to find them in the first place because all their content is so narrow that when you go on IG, you don't go there to be educated. You go there to be entertained. And also, the videos won't even be picked up because even if you'd find it interesting, they won't be picked up enough for them to even show them to the people that will find it interesting because there's a low success rate in who does. So let's say I make a video, and a lot of the videos I make, I think you've seen them.
Yeah.
Where you mentioned joking around with girls. Like, I've made that. There is specific kind of like references to sales and to business in them. Like, they're not fully about girls. But I position business and sales in a way related to a problem that everyone has. Which is why they would get 1 million views, which is why when we did that, we pretty much did like 50K a week when we have like one of those go viral. Because you're not going to find the person that only makes technical content unless it's just like a sales asset from ads, which I wouldn't really say were...
Well, I could find them through ads, I could find them through network, long form content.
That's fair. Well, who do you think will have higher success rate overall, even through longer form content? I think on longer form content, you should not specifically target your ICP either, because they need to be broader for your channel to pick up, because YouTube is not going to push your YouTube channel because you don't have any base to begin with. So it needs to be a little bit broader. And so if I were to make a video saying, if you're a YouTube video, four coaches making 20K a month, it would be very irrelevant. Whereas if I make a video saying aura farming is the only way to make 100K a month in 2025, that will be more relevant to a broader section, and also that section which is why I'll be pushed in the first place. And so like there's a trade-off. Like maybe if you saw them from ads, you would choose the person with the more specific content. Like you're going to get that from the person who is broader anyway. Like they're also going to make that and also have that facet to them. Like also show proof, also do all these things, like 100%. But most of the time you won't even see this person in the first place. And he would have to spend so much more on ads, so much more on these things to see them. And I think ads is a little bit different because ads, you're using the content as a sales asset as well. So like what you're running ads to is different. I still think though, the trade-off is not worth it. Even if you were more likely to convert this person if you found them, they simply won't find enough people for that to be worth it. Versus if you have a broad pool of people, even if you miss a few because they think, you're posting too much broad content, which I don't think anyone thinks because they go to be entertained when they watch content anyway, the trade-off isn't worth it because they're going to reach so many more people.
I think that my argument would be that 99% of people who I see building successful coaching businesses don't do it because they've created content organically and gone viral and got new people seeing their content just on the Reels feed. 99% of people build successful coaching businesses from ads, from word of mouth, from network, and content is to supplement those things. It's to nurture the people that you get through those. I think that when you're building a massive brand like Shelby Sapp, of course, it's very important to have much more wide appeal, broader content.
Even for me, like I'm targeting a very specific niche. I have to make broader content. Even like any of my other people in my niche that are doing well, they're also making broader content because if not, they're just not going to capture any views. And like, I agree, you can get clients with ads. I think that's a different conversation though. You can still have those sales assets and make broader content. But when you try to make content for your ICP, it's just not going to get views. I'm not talking about a sales asset. I'm talking about like making content for your ICP to see it.
I think it depends on the stage of the business, because if you're going from the point of already being at 6 figures a year, you want to scale to multiple 7 figures, you're going to need to have broader appeal content. You're going to need to reach a lot more people. But I would say that if you're a newer coach and you're under, let's say, 10K a month, you should not be focusing on going viral and getting new people seeing broader appeal content.
Oh, even more, because then you have no one paying attention to you. You're not even making 10K a month. Most of the time you have a very, very small account. If you make the very specific content, there's no one watching it. If I've already built this account and then I start making more specific content, at least there's a very pool of people that I've already kind of like know what I do, versus here I'm making specific content and no one is seeing it. And I'm not saying go viral, get a million views. I'm saying go viral, get 5, 10k, 20k views. Instead of most people that make niche videos, to the people that are, getting 500, 1,000, 2,000 views and staying stuck.
Yeah.
Good, bro. I like that one.
Funny.
Being good at sales comes from having bad marketing.
I disagree.
Not Daniel again, bro. Not Daniel again.
I disagree. Can I go?
No. Who
Why is he aura farming? Why is he aura farming like that? The reason you have to be good at sales is because the business has bad marketing.
Can't be true.
Why not?
Think about it. Does the best talent go to the best teams or to the worst teams?
Best talent goes to the best teams.
Best team has best marketing or worst marketing?
Best teams has best marketing.
So how can that be true?
The reason this is true is I don't think info are the best marketers in the first place. I think if you look at marketing in other industries, e-com or affiliate or other industries, marketing is so much better. And there are specific info offers that are doing good numbers where as much isn't required on the sales reps, on the sales side, because the marketing is so good. However, for a majority of info businesses, it's kind of like a sales-related business because they lack in marketing. And that's why so much certainty, they have to get the prospect to do such a big jump on the call because they aren't able to build all the certainty in the marketing.
Okay. So I hear everything that you're saying.
Okay.
Let me just ask you one question on that though. You run ads right now, right?
Yes.
Are you looking for the best talent or the worst talent?
The best talent.
Okay. So I mean, there's really no debate
Of course,
about it.
having better sales rep is great. You're gonna have better sales reps either way. The reason people have to have such good sales reps is because the marketing is bad. And therefore, I think marketing is more important than sales. I agree, of course, if you have better sales reps, you're going to close more deals. I don't disagree with that at all. I think it comes from the reason you have to be good at sales is because the marketing is bad. The reason the sales reps have to get great at objection handling is because the marketing is bad. The reason the salesperson gets an objection like, can I see testimonials before I buy, is because the marketing is bad.
So I can see that point. And there's no doubt that good talent gets made in bad conditions. For example, the worst reps have to start from the bottom, right? Just like if you're starting a job, you start at the bottom and you climb your way to the top. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Of course. So I mean, just look at it. If a rep comes on board and a rep is a top performer, majority of the time they're going to be on a good offer. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Of course.
Of course. So I mean, if we're looking at it in just generals, are the best reps on the best offers and are the worst reps on the worst offers, or is it a different thing that you'd say about that?
Best reps are generally on better offers, yeah.
Okay. How are they on the best offers if they don't have good talent? Because your whole argument is the best
how are they on the
reps.
best offers if they don't have good talent?
Yeah, because I'm saying if you, even for yourself, when you put yourself in the shoes, you would hire the best reps for your offer.
Of course.
So I mean, that's the whole argument in a whole. The best reps are going to be on the best offers, and there's not a single person in the world that can disagree with that.
Of course, best reps are going to go to better offers because then they're going to make more money.
Of course.
And the company wants better talent.
Of course.
100%.
Of course.
They need to be so sales heavy in the talent is because the actual marketing is bad. Let's say Hormozy, his sales reps have known to be not good at all. Like if you see many of the sales reps compared to like some of these info offers doing 200, 300k a month with absolute savages that I'm sure you train, right? Like they have absolute like savages. Hormozy, when he launched his like new offer now, like the mastermind offer, when the sales reps called, they're not near that level that some like these info companies are. They were just using like very like basic sales lines. Says, have you watched the calls?
I mean, I know some guys that are on Hormozy's offers, and I mean,
I'm talking about the average.
Have you seen Hormozy's hiring process?
No.
Okay, so I mean, he runs ads to get his talent.
Sure.
Do you think he's paying money to get shit talent, or do you think he's getting the best talent he can?
He's getting the best talent he can, but as a whole, the sales reps aren't being held to the same standard because people will buy because of Hormozy's content, and they don't need to be held to as high of a standard.
I agree. Hormozy definitely has good marketing, but to say that Hormozy's reps aren't A players is criminal. It just
I think many of them aren't. Yeah. If you look at the calls, I think you would agree. Like, yes, some of them will be very, very good.
What
of course, 100%.
What have you seen in their calls that makes you say that they're not A players?
I would say they're selling B2B to people that are like very much business owners, and they're using lines that everyone would recognize in sales, and how they word themselves, and how they even say stuff like gotcha, like his sales reps say that. It would immediately be recognized and create resistance.
So
And I think they sell in a very traditional way, and they don't have as advanced way of selling in terms of reframes, in terms of the questions they ask, in terms of the ways they acknowledge, as some info offers have developed, because they can't rely on marketing.
Okay, so where do you feel that their reps are coming from? So you think the reps that are being trained by the guys?
So I think he's getting some of the best reps, but I think some of the reps, it filters in a couple of bad reps too, and they're able to close sales because the marketing is so good. Whereas if they were on an info offer that was like smaller and had like more active management, they would take it off immediately.
I can't argue that just because I don't know I don't know the bad reps on his
Sure.
offer. But I mean, I'm sure it's fair to say that Hermosi has KPIs in place for all his teams, right?
Sure.
Does Hermosi have the power to remove lower performers whenever he wants?
Sure, 100%.
Because one of Hermosi's things is churn is massive. You know, hire slow, fire fast.
Of
So,
course.
I mean, obviously he's bringing in the best talent possible. Would
Of
you
course,
agree?
bringing in the best talent possible, but he can have worst talent perform up to KPI because marketing is so good.
But are they hitting KPI after being fired though? And if you look around for every single offer, it's the same thing across the board. Your best performers are going to be there long term, and your worser players are going to be there short term as you're looking for a replacement. So I think across the board, it is criminal to say. If you look at Grant Cardone, if you look at Tony Robbins, all of these folks, even yourself, for example, everyone is of course going to get the best talent that they can get, and the lower talent is just they can be on the offers for a short amount of time. As someone that's worked on high performing sales teams, but they're not. There's no way that you can say that lower talent is going to be on higher.
Lower talent can work on higher level offers because the marketing is so good.
Yeah, but that's across the board on any single offer. If you go on any single offer and you get someone to read a script, the script is created for what reason?
To be able to hire many people and get them onboarded quickly,
the script.
The script on like how they
If I
sell.
was to make a script for an offer that I manage, what's the reason that I put that script in there?
To have the sales reps learn it quickly and learn how to sell the offer.
But why that script?
Because you thought it would be the best script for them to learn.
Because of it works.
Sure.
So what I'm saying with that is if you get Bob, Joe, Harry, Tenny, whoever you want to get to, read the script, they're going to close some deals. 100%.
Sure.
This is across the board. So I mean, with that,
I don't think that is across the board though.
you don't think across the board that if
I think across the board, I think on some offers, someone could read a script pretty much line for line, question by question, and then pitch word for word on an offer like Hermosi's and have a good close rate. I think on...
What's a good close rate?
let's say they close 20-30%, right? They close decent numbers. They don't read the script and close 5%. I think on let's say an offer, let's say a biz up offer or even an offer like mine that requires it to be more sales heavy, because the marketing isn't as good, they haven't seen as much of the person. If they just read a script, they won't be able to close.
At all?
They will close maybe 5% instead of 30.
Have you tried it?
No.
So how do you know?
Have you
this?
tried it?
I mean, I've seen reps come in that I've fired fast. They closed some deals, but they didn't close as many deals as the top performers.
Of course.
And this is across,
Of course, lower performers.
Of course. So
close
my
less.
whole point is, if you get anyone to read a script across the board, they're going to close something. Of course they are. But if you have someone who is really, really good, then they're going to close more deals. So the point is very straightforward. The best talent, good closers are on good offers. You know, can worse talent close on great offers? Of course they can. But there's a reason the worst talent are on worse offers.
My point is the reason sales reps need to become really good at sales is because the marketing isn't good enough. And if the marketing was good enough, if a sales call was needed, it would in any case be very, very easy.
I don't think that was the starting point because I can't disagree with that. Of course, if you have great marketing.
Of course, and I can't agree with everyone wants the best sales reps.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think what I'm saying is the reason they have to be good at objection handling, they have to be good at sales, they have to know all these reframes, all these things. The reason they need to do that is because marketing isn't good enough. If marketing is good enough, if everything that happens before the call is good enough, people aren't going to give those objections. There aren't going to be that many reframes. Not all of that is going to happen. But they get good at that because they go through offers that are very sales heavy, where like, let's say someone like just sees a VSL, a very good rep can make a lot of money on that offer. I wouldn't consider that marketing to a point where it's like the leads are they need to be good at sales because the marketing is not good enough. Like not good enough, like, because no one defines what's good enough or not good enough. However, the need for good sales comes from not marketing that is not as good. You had very great points left, to be fair. I think if anyone won, it was you.
Appreciate it, bro.
So you like the limited coach and I'm the unlimited coach, is what it is.
I believe there's limitations. You believe there's no limitations.
What is your goal? Is your goal a limited number
Let's
of
say
clients?
for this year, $1 million a month.
So do you believe there's any limitations that are stopping you achieve that goal?
No.
So you're unlimited.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's no argument. What the fuck are we arguing about?
Let's say my goal is to say, hey, I want to do 2 million next month.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a limit? Like, it's technically possible, 100%. Like, there's more than enough money.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that it can be harmful to set such a big number at a short-term time span?
Well, the only point it would become harmful is if you start to feel negative about it.
What I see is people, they set a very big goal and set it for a very short time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of that, they start taking shortcuts. There was another guy I know of, his offer was doing 400k a month and he wanted to get to like $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So one of his competitors doing $1 million, and then he thought, okay, let me switch up the way I do my marketing,
Mm-hmm.
which actually caused the business to go down.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to rush the decision. And so I think while like we can say we're unlimited and we can say we're abundance, like we want to have that mindset that we're not like limiting ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we should still set like goals that are like logical and can be achieved in a sense where I would rather set the goal for a little bit longer and then maybe things happen faster than I expect, then set it for super short and then I start to compress the timeline.
I understand. But what makes it logical? And what creates the perception that it's logical?
Beliefs.
Exactly. So to you, $1 million a month, quite a big goal. Good goal. You're setting it for a reason. You like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To a sheik in Dubai, there's a multi-billionaire trillionaire. Is $1 million a month a lot of money?
Minimal.
So like that, like to you, that might be stretching what you think is logically possible, but to him, he would wipe his arse with £1 million.
We have to be like situationally aware though.
Exactly. So there's always context.
Like even you, like to fucking Elon Musk, if you did 500 million next year, it'd be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to say, hey, I'm going to do 500 million this year because it's nothing to Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to be aware of your situation too.
Have you ever set a goal and it happened quicker than you could imagine? You couldn't have logically explained how it happened.
Can't actually think of a
Has anyone
specific
ever
example.
had that before? Like, yeah. Anyone? Yeah. So multiple people have had that, and are you going to benefit more from setting a big goal, an unlimited goal? Is there any downside to that? Well, you said there is, because people will start taking shortcuts, they feel negative. You would say that. That's the downside
Yes.
to setting these kind of goals, right? But what if you have the emotional intelligence to set a big goal like that, believe you're unlimited, and as things play out, not be impacted negatively by that not playing out as you thought it would? So what's logical to you is not the same logic to a sheik, but you'd be in a much better position if you set an unlimited goal, aim for that, believe it's possible, than just being logical, pessimistic, and just, what do the numbers say from last month, and what does that mean that I can achieve? 'Cause I would lean on the side of just believing the huge goal can be possible. Existing.
I lean in believing the huge goal is possible, but not attaching a time frame.
I don't
or
attach
a-
timeframes, yeah, exactly. That's why
I think we're on the same side, bro. People who do bad in school are less likely to make it as entrepreneurs. There's a correlation where being bad in school,
Like bad grades? Or like
yes.
Well, we'll start.
It's an overall, right? I'm not going to say all people with under this grade are not successful. No, of course not. It's an overall, people who do worse in school are worse entrepreneurs. I think even if you don't put attention into school, it's a very clear distinction of your ability and your talent to do certain cognitive things. And if you're going to get to the highest level of entrepreneurship, you need to be able to do that. Yes, of course, 100%. There are people that have bad grades and then they take risks and they do things other people aren't willing to do and they make it. But I think if you want to have the highest chance of success, it's with some of those people that do really well in school and they decide they'd rather do business and put their talents there.
Do you not think that people that do well in school get funneled into like postgraduate jobs, just normal 9 to 5s though, in comparison to those that aren't good at school they have to become resourceful and they have to find other ways to make money because they're not good enough to get into the like top postgraduate jobs, if that makes sense.
They're more likely to be forced into entrepreneurship because
Yes.
they can't do it. But they're less likely to be successful as entrepreneurs than someone who did well in school and decided to be an entrepreneur, because they will have more intellect. And I think you need to have both sides of it. Number one, you need to take risk and you need to be part of that group who does it 100%. But then but you also need the intellectual side of it. And I think if you can't, compete and getting the highest grades in the classroom with just a bunch of normal people learning from a random professor, and you can't like comprehend that information easily, then you're not going to get to the highest level of, I think you're going to have a more difficult time getting to a higher level of entrepreneurship. The best entrepreneurs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, like they went to Harvard or they went to some really, really good school, and then they saw this opportunity that they wanted to commit to instead. It doesn't come from a lack of like, I can't compete in school, I can't get good grades. It comes from, it makes more logical sense to do business. And I think the reason it might be misrepresented too is because before, business wasn't the best. People didn't view business as the best route to be successful. It was more difficult to get into business. Now it's like you have all these opportunities online. It's very easy to get into. Those who are intelligent are just going to identify this as a better route. Like I would just view school and business and be like, this is just a better route. It doesn't make sense to do school. And it doesn't come from a place of like you're forced to do it because you have bad grades and you can't really get like a shitty job.
I think the people that do the best at school though, would you agree that they go to the best universities?
Yes.
And the people that go to the best universities, what do you think they do after? Do you think
Best
they become
jobs.
entrepreneurs? They don't become entrepreneurs, do they?
Right, but majority of people that get bad grades, they don't become successful entrepreneurs either. They get in an even worse situation. Like that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about entrepreneurs from people that do well at school and entrepreneurs from people that are bad at school. And I think if you don't have a talent for comprehending information and like just like intellectual cognitive ability.
Would you say it's just a negative association towards the work that they're doing though? Because someone could be bad at school, but then if they do something in entrepreneurship that they truly love, for example, like sales and speaking to people, like they're going to be way more successful than someone who was just good at education.
I think there's a difference in someone could be like work 12 hours a day and memorize, but if you don't have a talent for it to the point where it's like, for me, I hated school, I never liked it and I never did anything with it, but I still got, very close to all A's. I never really looked at it as that hard. I just looked at, okay, business is a more logical route than getting a, 6-figure job somewhere that could be fucking replaced by AI. And it's more of like, it's a logical thing to go into business rather than I do bad in school, I have to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't really have more fuel.